corruption that of the corruption that has sort of hitting Nigeria so deep. You get that now? So yeah. I wouldn't want to feel sorry for them, but at the same time, come on, pay them. If you can pay that much to these rogues, then pay them. Maybe that could possibly reduce corruption too. You know, just saying.
Yeah, because Tinubu himself is a thief, right? He uses the thief like him, you know, to control the scenario or the power. So now, what is doing now is like, well, if you shout on me that I'm a thief, well, you are a thief as well. So nobody can checkmate, you know, check anyone right now. So if it's like a proper, so if it is a proper person who is patriotic, before I forget, the national anthem, there's nothing like patriotic in it anymore. It is more of God now, like, oh, God, this, God, that. So that although our language may differ, in brotherhood, we stand. So you don't know before that in brotherhood we stand when you were, you know, saying Igbo this, Igbo that, or Hausa that, Hausa this. So now,
this and that. You're going to kill
so
them
now
if they don't follow your order and all of that. It's all this.
Yeah, so so we rather be patriotic and die for our belief that yes, we want something better for Nigeria, not die hoping that this will change when we can see that these people are not doing anything to anything. They're not doing anything because I can't see the reasoning behind or the reasoning behind having to make a new road somewhere to nowhere, and then spending like $4 billion or 4 billion naira on 1 kilometer for crying out loud. What does that supposed to mean?
You want to do 7 kilometers for 1.1 trillion naira in a country that people can barely feed, and with over 80% of horrible roads. Then it's con job, Baba. It's con job.
Yeah. So well, God will save Nigeria, Sha. God will save us, but God will not come. God will not come. God will not come from heaven. No. God have empowered us already because we can think. We have that strength. We have to go out on the streets and start stoning their vehicles and then gather ourselves in masses and start stoning them everywhere. And God is only looking at everyone because God has said, well, we have empowered you people. Now come on, do something. Are you stupid? They
think God is a magician, right? So they are wondering why God is not answering. They don't know that God is angry with all of you in that contraption Nigeria because He's looking at you, and there are so many other people in the rest of the world who have different problems as well. They are solving their problems, facing their fear, challenging their dictators and their oppressors. But only in Nigeria that they shout, God, this is angry. If he has a chance of speaking to one of you, will tell you, you these stupid bollocks.
Yeah. Look, if you see a Nigerian that just newly arrived in Europe today, you can see that they don't have confidence. They lack confidence. They think they are down there, so they are ready to do anything.
So they don't. Do you think that is because of they are coming from Nigeria, or it's just a typical anxiousness of a new place? But you just raised a very good point there.
No, it's because the way people, these are our leaders, these are our elders treat us. They don't tell us that, look, you are a man, you need to stand your ground. You need to, make yourself, embolden them, make them have that, that will to say, no, I'm standing on my right. I'm not just a step over or something. So there's nothing like that in Nigeria. Nigeria lacks that. So they use that religion. Even if you are starving, they would rather advise you to come and go and fast 50 days, 60 days until you die. You will still be fasting, and until you die, they will now say, "Oh God, yes, God wants it like that."
Don't go rest. They will say, "Don't go rest." Papa, I
Yes.
die of hunger. You are telling me I went to rest. Who told you I'm resting? Like, somebody will die. That kind of thing, right? It's like the terrorist that matches you. And then they macheted me and macheted. I say, oh, at least he's going to go and rest. Are you mad? Who told you I'm resting? Somebody still in shock. If I have a chance of looking back, maybe my spirit is looking at my body like, what just happened? And all of you think I'm resting. Nigerians and then trying to put things on
Look,
God. I think
yeah,
it's a coping mechanism where people just
yeah, in fact, even Nigerians now, everybody will just say, let's just leave it to God. It's not that we really say that, but because that thing is innate in us since we were born, they always talk about God, about God, about God. So that thing comes automatically. But okay, before we round it up, look, the army that was killed in Abia State, don't be surprised. So it is this government that killed them so that to create something. Right? Because they can do anything to create news, to make some part of the world. They are so full of.
I will partly agree with you, even though it may not be totally like true, right? I remember in 2021, okay, when the first staged assassination or killings of soldiers took place in Owerri. Just a few months after Hopeless Uzodinga became the Supreme Court governor, and people were angry. People were like, then surprisingly from nowhere, bam, 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 they killed about 4 soldiers who are just like that. That same thing that happened in Abia, they killed them somewhere, right? And because they said, it was initially they said unknown gunmen. Then they said, it must be IPOB. So they used that to bring in the soldiers to Imo State. From there, they moved them as well again to Ebonyi. So if we are going to be using MO, I have no investigation done myself. I'm using the MO of what is available, right? There was no fight in Owerri at the time. There were any crisis. Even when they removed Emeka Ihedioha as their governor, right? People never protested, nothing. But Hopeless Uzodinga needed protection. He staged assassination of soldiers in his own states. And the rest of the day is history. The entire Imo State is militarized now since that time. So here is Abia State that has no case of any wahala. And then these soldiers were packed. Some people came and they shot and killed them. And then the entire state is going to pay for it, according to the soldiers. So they look similar. That's why I said I may partially agree with you that this has the workings of the terrorist government of Nigeria. But I'll let you finish. Go on.
Yeah. So, well, I don't have much to say again, but the Easterners need to think and understand that they should stop selling themselves out. They shouldn't. They should stop it.
They should stop jumping to conclusions easily.
Yes. Yeah. And then at least they should have one voice somehow. That will help because I mean. You can't say that. I mean, these are the people who actually really want Nigeria to work because they are everywhere in Nigeria.
Yes.
You see, they are in North, they are in Kano, they are everywhere. So how would people like that want anything bad for Nigeria? It's not possible. It's no way. So even
they want this for Nigeria, and many people want to believe that even when without any proof. You're right.
Yes, even if they've been building their houses in not approved land and whatever, is it not the people who are in government that sold that land to them? So why is it now that they realize it? Yes, now we need to, and then in fact it's very 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 bad. But there's nothing I want to say now. Yeah, I've run out of words, so we talked about
you said a lot, and I'm glad you were able to release some of those things from your mind. Okay, so it's such a pleasure talking to you, Baba.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure, myself. Yeah,
the rest of the day, man. And that's a Daniel there. Yeah. So I have another caller, but I'm going to ask this caller to hang in there for me for a second. Okay. Now I want to ask us, the brethren, that if you are still here with us and you haven't really liked the broadcast or even share it, That means you've spent like about 90 minutes with us. And it's ideal now to like the video, share it. What do you think, Charm?
Of course, you have to like the video.
Please do.
Of course.
Thank you. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. I called to say, I told you so.
I told you. I know they won't even let it last 24 hours, man. It's just a few hours after you said that. It's crazy,
my
isn't
goodness. Oh gosh. But then like I said, the question is now that because I was talking to my sister this morning, said, oh, they told you that they would increase it, that you should negotiate with us and we'll pay you anything above 60,000 naira.
Higher than 60,000. What is higher than 60,000?
Wait, Mayegu. Shebi, if I tell you that 60,000 naira and one couple, is that not
that would be right, eh? Me, I was even putting 500 on top.
500. The government is telling you that if they pay you 60, if they pay you today, they will go bankrupt. Then you now say, oh, 60,500. They don't have any money. Oh.
I swear, man.
Honestly, it was ridiculous. But you know what I said was that it's not about what the NLC president or the people heading that whole whatever infantry. It's not about what they do. It's about what you are going to do in response to what they've done, because we knew that they were going to do that. We knew, because like you said, a lot of these people are buyable. Yes. They're not really there for your own interest. They're all there for their own visibility and for their own self-interest. We know this. And you cannot tell me that you don't know it as well. We're all born in Nigeria. We all grew up in Nigeria, right? So there's nothing new that the NLC is doing that it hasn't done before. Okay. So you cannot tell me, if I am able to say to you that they're going to do this, you should know that this was always going to happen. But now that you know that it was always going to happen, what is your response to that action? Are you going to fold your arms and carry on, knowing fully well that 60,000 naira cannot take you anywhere, cannot provide any food for you to eat, cannot guarantee that you'll be able to pay your rent, cannot guarantee that you'll be able to feed your children or take them to school? Or are you going to now say, you know what, maybe some of you are not going to have to go to school. We're going to do something else. Even though something else you want to do, what exactly is it? Do you understand? What exactly has the government made possible for you and for your children, and the ones that what have they made possible for you? Nothing. Okay, nothing at all. You talked about Wale, what Idun? That's a new name now.
I love that guy. Kezim Osoda. I was like, oh, that was brilliant, genius.
And that name, that name is so apt because, like you said, the government in general they're just vampires, sucking people's blood and just without any fear, without anything, but just doing whatever they want to do. This man goes on air and tells you that, oh, this government has a plan. This government has a plan to do what he talked about, because we watched the show yesterday. He talked about when the Shehu took him up on food insecurity and all of that. And he said, oh, yes, they're doing this and they're doing that and they're doing the other. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't Shehu ask him all of these things that you're doing? How are you going to be able to do it when you have not even secured the one most important thing that the farmers actually need, which is security? They seem to gloss over it. Just, they don't want to talk about the insecurity in the country. The insecurity in countries at the highest level, because again, when you talk about insecurity, that means they're going to be pointing fingers at the so-called Fulani headsmen, right? Those who will not be named, those who should not be named, those who should not be talked about, what they call the protected class in Nigeria. Those are the people that they know that you're going to talk about. So they gloss over it. They don't talk about it. Well, that is the one thing that is going to actually propel people to be able to go back to their lands and farm. But you're not talking about that. So whatever he's saying is just an imagination. They have no clue. They have no idea. There's nothing they're doing in order to solve food insecurity. And what that should tell that should scare everybody, because if they have no plans around food insecurity, that means there will be hunger. If you're not feeling that hunger now, it is waiting for you in the future. It is waiting for you down the road if you're not feeling it, that because this government has no plan, has no idea. If they're not going to tackle insecurity, which is one of the biggest factors around the food insecurity, then we have a problem facing us down the line.
There is a warning, right? There's a warning that from August this year, Nigeria is going to face serious food crisis. Okay, you see this killing of farmers, declaring some of these agrarian areas as ungoverned area. All of this, they are about to catch up with Nigeria now. Okay, now you see those who are in the city that are currently complaining of not having enough money to buy food. It is going to get worse. And I'm talking about at the national crisis level. You know what is called crisis? Something that the food is not there. Okay.
The food is not only is the food not there, there's the chances that anything is coming is also not there.
You get that now. And they said they have been raising this alarm for the past 8 months. And these guys said they have cultivated 500,000 hectares of land in Jigawa. Nobody has seen a single picture of that other farm. They continue to say it. He still said it yesterday. Remember? That Minister of Information said it yesterday. There is food crisis coming, and they are not doing anything.
Exactly. And the kind of food crisis, anyway, like a lot of people have been saying it, that maybe this is what people need. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to die because, maybe this is what people need to actually ginger them to get off their asses and chase this government out of power. People who are talking about 2027, and I've always maintained it, that I don't see 2027 happening because what is in front of us is a lot. We're talking about people who are not able to feed themselves. And when you have the added potential that not only are you not going to be able to feed yourself, you don't even have anything coming down the line. There's no food. There's no food coming. And you're saying that, you're talking about 2027. I don't see 2027 happening. I don't see it happening because I see a massive, uprising facing us once this food crisis hits. Because like you said, and okay, you showed this disgrace to Igbo land, disgrace to everybody who is called Uju, everybody that ever known that is called Uju. That woman is a big disgrace. Talking about how 1 year is such a short time, this has been going on for 60 years, this and that and this and the other. These people talk like they inherited a government from a whole different party.
I know.
The preceding government is APC. It is still your party. So whatever is going on now, right, started with your own party, started with your own person. You gave us a list of companies that have been leaving the country. A lot of these people I didn't even know. And they did not only live in in this year 2024. They've been living, during Buhari's tenure.
Since the time of Buhari, right? And now it just got escalated under this Tinubu. Major ones actually left under
exactly.
Major ones.
It only escalated under this criminal government that we have here, right? You people saw all of this. We are talking about 1 year is not enough. How much longer do you want to be in power before you have a problem? When you were coming into the government, you had no clue, you had no idea. You are comfortable to sit down in front of millions of Nigerians and tell them that 1 year is too short and this and that and the other. Meanwhile, people are being laid off. Not only are they being laid off, the chances of them even getting any job that bears any kind of resemblance to what they had before, right, is zero. Okay, this is the only country that I know that companies are leaving. The government is not intervening. Yeah. Sometimes you hear that maybe China wants to buy a company here in Nigeria or wants to buy a company in the UK. The government steps in immediately because maybe that is not in the best interest of the company. Companies are getting up and they're leaving, and nobody's stepping in to say or to ask questions.
And you are telling the people that company comes, company goes. There's no big deal about that. Are you being serious? See, one of them, GSK.
What do you expect? What do you expect? What do you expect from vampires? They don't care.
They don't. Look at this GlaxoSmithKline, right? This GSK. Yeah. Look at a few of these pharmaceutical companies that left. Now, a lot of people who depends on some of these locally produced, medicines or drugs, right? Now they have to pay about 400-500% more to get the same product. They are not even sure if they are original anymore. Now that is
they're not sure. Not only are you not sure that it's
somebody says company goes, company comes. Like, are you serious?
He's talking as if he's in a company. I mean, if Americans say, "Go, companies go, companies come," I can understand where they're coming from. They have options, right? You can't be telling me that companies come, company goes in a country like Nigeria where the options are limited. And not only are you talking about companies that are coming and company going, we're also talking about the livelihood of people. Do you understand? So people have built careers around these companies, and all of a sudden, all that is gone. and you're sitting down there comfortably and telling us companies go, company come, well, you receive millions, not thousands or millions in trumped up different what they call it compensations in addition to your astronomical salary already. Sometimes those people, let me tell you something, the best thing for Nigeria is that if you can gather all of these people and bomb them, let them not even be alive, even generations after them, so that none of their people can come. Because I think that their mentality is persistent within their genes. It's genetic. It's not just, like, oh, they just come in there and, all of a sudden we are bad. Something is wrong genetically with those people. Then the person I talked about, I wanted to say something about the national anthem. Just to buttress the point that you're making about people who love their oppressors. I happen to